Hello and welcome back for another kit review. This time it is the Revell Monogram B-25J Mitchell in 1/48 scale. This is going to be our next build, so I thought we would take a quick look to see what we get inside. This comes in two boxes. I have two. This is the other boxing that I have of it. It has basically the same cover art. The sides are a little bit different on the ends, but basically the same kit, two different boxings. I'm going to build this one in the crappy box, but for filming purposes we will review this one here. So let's take a look and see inside what we get. Okay, so let's get the lid off this baby and see what we get inside. So out of the box we have instructions, 3 bags of screws, 1 clear and 2 of molded parts. So let's get into the little bag first, shall we? Okay, so first off, the little bags, which one is open, so I'm just gonna show the clear parts here in the little bags. And this is obviously, let me zoom in here and get this up tight so we can take a look here and see. So yeah, this is obviously going to be the big challenge with this kit, is all the masking. Now there is a Edward masking kit that was available, but from best I can see is it's been out for a while. There is a pre-order. I'll try to put a link down in the description of the video. There was a pre-order at one site that I saw for the masking kit for this. Now the kit comes with 2 sets of clear parts, and the only part difference is in this nose. One is accommodating for 4 machine guns in the front. Let me just actually cut this open, take a look and see. Get this open and see here. There we go. So yeah, the difference is with this part here, with the 4 machine gun holes, as opposed to the same part here. So you can see the difference between the 2 parts. And they're both there. Yeah, you can see that. There's a comparison between the two for the 2 parts. One for multiple machine gun placements and one for just, I guess, none. One, I guess, the gunner out the front. And the parts of these look pretty clear, pretty clean. And it's going to be a lot of masking, so I don't know, I might, for these small ones, use some masking gel. I don't know, I have to take a look around on YouTube to see what some of the best solutions were, but there's a lot of masking with this kit. But anyways, the clear parts look good. Both trees are in good shape. We'll just keep them back in their bags so that they don't get scratched up. I'll just set those over to the side for now, and I guess we'll get into our next bag. I'll back us off a bit here so we can get an idea of what we're looking at. Alright, so here's big bag number 1. This looks like it has most of our components and whatnot on it. Crew figures. So this is a famous kit. I think on the decals it said 1999. That's when this kit was last produced. I would imagine it's probably even older than that. I'm sure some of you can correct me in the comments to let me know exactly when, but let's take a look at the first sprue here. And we have our engines, tires that are flattened, so that's kind of nice. Got pretty good tread, looks like, on the tires. There's some standing crew, pilot with mission. Here's our props. Pretty good. There's a bit of flash to clean up, but Detail looks pretty good on the props here and on the engine from what will be visible. Gun, its interior, cowling. Yep. Got some surface detail here in the bulkheads that you can see. And I'll zoom in on that so you guys can get a look at some of the details. Get it slid around here so you can look at the figures. And there we go. There's a good close-up on that tree anyways. Gives you a good look at the parts on that sprue. Yeah, this surface detail on the wheels is going to come up nice with a wash. So cool, yeah. You know, for an older kit, parts look really good. And here we go. Now, sprue number 2 out of the big bag. And we have a lot of our parts. We got the guns, landing gear, lots of guns, bay doors, I guess controls, surfaces here, racks, internals. Looks like a bit of flash here and there, but nothing too crazy. Zoom in on the landing gear here where you get look at some of the detail on these pieces. Yeah, other than the flash here and there, the parts look like they're going to be okay. This interior detail. Of course, you're not going to see much of it. I'm not really going to spend much time detailing out the interior of this thing. I don't really think it's really worth, other than the cockpit area and the, you know, the gun area and the nose where you can really see inside. I don't think it's much that you can do. There's your control panel. Zoom in on that one there. Those are your control sticks. Right there. And let's see if I can get you in on that. Take a look at that and see. There we go. So, here's the control sticks. You've got molded in seat belts. Right here. Seats and guns. So yeah, there's a fair bit of molding detail on the guns. Looks pretty good. Yeah. gun belts. Feeders. Yeah, and that's about it for that tree. Oh, back is off. We'll take a look at our next big bag, which is going to be our fuselage and our wings. There we go. It's opened up. Sliding it out. Try not to snap anything off. There we go. Okay, there we go. Loose piece. And here we go with our wings. So we got some nice recessed lines here and some raised lines. Let's get us zoomed in here so you can take a look and see. Focus here. And yeah, you can see on these wings some nice surface details. Along the wing. And these seem to be pretty cleanly molded. And got some nice recessed panels and nice fabric detail. Oh, got a bit of regularity there of that on the edge. And now the fuselage. And again, got some surface detail. Gun port. A little bit of cleanup to do on the inside. But other than that, it looks pretty good. And the other is just about identical. With our nacelles and our wings and our fuselage. And that takes care of our sprues. Now we can take a look at the instructions. So look here and see. And the Revell B-25J Mitchell. It gives us our color call out here. We got our colors. I'm going to stay pretty close to the requirements here with the olive green and the olive drab. There's going to be the yellow on the cowlings. Some flat whites and blacks and browns, aluminums, I'm sure, on the instrument panel. But on the outside, we're going to stay with the olive green and the gray, neutral gray for the bottom. And there's our parts. Call out. We'll open this up a little bit. There we go. Parts call out. And it looks like we have 130 parts. It's calling for. Looks like. Slide these out of the way. And yeah, here we go. Start with our fuselage assembly. Interiors, I guess our front nose gear going in to the bay. There's our cockpit controls. Yep, all putting it together, and I guess we're going to probably have, is it calling for weight? So I don't know if it's really calling for us to put anything in there, I don't see. But there's the rest of their guns, bulkheads going in. Those would be, I guess, the struts for our wings. Bombs in the bomb bay. So there'll be a lot of interior painting. I think maybe even pre-assembly in here, some of this parts. With the bombs, obviously. And seats and stuff, I think might be a little bit easier to paint and then put them into position. And There's our spars to put our wings on. With our landing gear. Gear doors. Obviously we'll paint all these inside first before we install them. And here we go with our tail, our engine, our gun windows, the bays, side mounted machine guns, there's our holes, and our mask canopy array. That's going to be our masking challenge. And this build is going to be the big challenge for sure. There's our decals. We'll take a look at them last. And this is the paint scheme that we are going to do, the Jaunty Joe. And we're going to stay pretty well with that. We're just going to stay with the olive green and the gray, the yellow for the cowlings, and I guess markings everywhere. I think these are white. Maybe I should do the invasion stripes. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. We have our top machine gun. These are the main detail areas, I think, is where this, and this here. And maybe a little bit around these side ports, machine gun ports, as far as the detail. Because when you close this thing up, you're not going to be able to see any of the side wall, anything that's going on in there. So I don't know. I'm going to paint it. We're going to paint it, but I don't think we're going to go too crazy with any detail. Although it would be cool to do a cutaway one where you could see the whole interior and a half. That'd be an interesting build. Anyways, that's the instructions, and last but not least, our decal sheet. And I'll bring us in for that so we can take a look at these. And these look like they're in pretty good shape. Now I have two of these kits, and the other decal sheet that came with the other kit is definitely not so good, and I'll show you. And you can see the difference. There's the one that I got with the other kit, and you can see it's definitely cracked, split. Definitely a different color. You can see the difference in color between the two. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the sun. Apparently if you put these in the sun, these decals, it'll bleach some of this out. I'm thinking that this is discoloration here, that I can see this bit of yellowing. And before I do anything though, I think I'm going to photocopy, like I do all of my decal sheet. I'm going to photocopy this before I cut into it. And that way I've got a clear crisp copy in case I have to print any replacements. These I may mask and paint on. I tried it with limited success. It didn't turn out too bad on the Helldiver, the Pro Modeler Helldiver, but we'll see how these decals work. I don't know. They're pretty old, so we'll see how they work. But anyways, that is a quick look at the 1/48 scale Revell B-25 Mitchell, which is going to be our next build. So our next episode will be part 1 of us putting that kit together. And until then, thank you for joining me. That is a review of the 1/48 scale Revell and Monogram B-25J Mitchell and our next build. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Model Student. Cheers!